All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 295, and I am so excited to have my dear friend, Dr. Shefali, here with me, chatting today about consciousness and careers. I guess that's what we'll call it. So, for those of you who don't know who she is, but I'm sure all of my listeners already do, she is an amazing wisdom teacher and Oprah's favorite parenting expert and one of my favorite people in the world. So, welcome, Dr. Shefali.
Thank you, Erin, and you are one of mine. So thank you for always supporting this mission. It's our mission, and we are helping each other take it forward.
Absolutely. So, today we're going to talk about your coaching school, which I am so excited about because for those of you listening who don't know, I was one of the cheerleaders and the aggressive pushers of Dr. Shefali for years because I knew that this school needed to be born. And it had a lengthy gestational period, as you'll probably talk about, but this was something that a few of us, including yourself, have known that needed to be born for several years at least. And now it's born. So tell us about it.
Yeah, because I don't like to just talk about myself and I want to provide service and value to your listeners, I'm going to encapsulate my details in a bigger context of spirituality and careers. You know, how do you make spirituality a career? Who gets to be so lucky to make consciousness into your career and make a living out of it? You know, it is really, if you think about it, what you and I do, Erin, it's taking the most esoteric, formless part of our existence, our spirituality. It's not in our psychological development, it's our spirituality, which is really not touchable. It's unquantifiable. It's so in the ether. And now we're making a career out of it. But that's why I didn't want to do the coaching institute. You know, when you came to me and said, do it, I said, how can you take something like this and make it into a program, right? Yeah. My whole philosophy in conscious parenting is to deprogram and to unprogram and to take kids off the cultural program and to find their unique destiny. So now you're telling me that I must put all my coaches into a program? How do I make this philosophy, which is so poetic and so vast and eternal as a moving sky, to now put it into a formal program? And so when you came to me 6 years ago, maybe, I said, I'm not ready, you know, and you all just kept in the wings. And many people came to me before and after, and I was not ready. So one of the keys really in manifesting one's purpose, this is for everyone out there, is you can only do things when you're ready. So now when you're looking back in your life for all the things you didn't do, you have to immediately forgive yourself and have compassion, because the reason you didn't do whatever you didn't do in your life till now is because you weren't ready. And if you're not ready, it will not happen. So you can now say, oh, I wish I was ready, but that's going against the flow of how things manifest. The way things manifest is only when you're ready. You could be ready for dysfunction. Dysfunction will come into your life. When you are ready for being a pauper, you will become a pauper. When you're ready for being in abundance, you will be in abundance. So it's all about our internal thermometer for tolerance. If you're tolerating abuse, you will have abuse. If you're tolerating poverty, you will have poverty. It's all what you tolerate. I always tell parents with their children, don't try to make your kid successful. If your kid tolerates being stagnant or complacent or lazy, then no matter what you do, they're going to come back to that. It's what we tolerate in our lives, right? What we allow. So when I became ready, I did this. All of last year, I prepared to launch it. And we launched our first cohort in February. And now we're launching the second one in September. And I want to tell people to join if they want. Applications are open right now. But I realized that there is a way to make it into a little bit of a program. There is a strategy. And the first strategy, though, is inner work. So for inner work, there's no strategy per se, except a dedication, a commitment, and a persistence. But once the person is evolved enough and understood my philosophy enough, then there is a way to distill that into some core fundamentals to teach parents. So basically, my program is 5 months. It's online. And I take you through 3 phases: breaking in, breaking through and breaking free, which you can take and work on yourself first as a coach. So you evolve as a coach in my program by leaps and bounds. And then you take it out into your family that you want to work with, and you help them through these phases as well. And I want to show you a sample of how my modules are laid out.
Oh, it sounds so exciting. And I love that no matter how many times we bothered you and nudged you and suggested to you, that you just didn't budge because you knew it wasn't time yet. And I think that's such a powerful example of, like you say, manifesting. Because if you try to push something in life before you're ready, it's not going to be the fullest version of it. It might not be successful. It might be a flop, whatever it is that you're trying to create prematurely. So I love that you just waited and sat with it and let it percolate in your mind and thought about it. And once you were ready, you moved swiftly. But that's kind of how it works if you have the patience to wait until you feel that the time is right.
It's like pulling something out of the oven. How can you pull it out before it's ready? You can only
That's a good point.
And it's only delicious when it's ready. So you have to know that about yourself. And I teach that in my program, how parents need to learn how to trust themselves. And I teach coaches how to teach the parents how to trust themselves. But the coaches learn how to trust themselves. A lot of my work is about self-growth, as you know. Mm-hmm. And so this program is really designed for the self-growth of the person who's becoming a coach. So the coaches who are currently going through the program, they say, again, I am learning more than I'll ever teach anyone. And it's about self-development and self-transformation. When you are aligned from within and you understand yourself, then you can help others understand themselves. So that's what I teach the coach to do, understand themselves, and then they can go out there into the world. Do you want to see how it's laid out?
Oh, yes. Please share.
Okay, I'm excited. So I'm going to share the screen. Okay, tell me when you see it.
I can see it.
So the way it works, it's 20 weeks, it's all online, and you do it at your own pace. Every Sunday night, you get your module for the week. So there are 3 phases. In phase 1, there's 6 sessions. In phase 2, there's another set. And in phase 3, there's another set. So, for example, on that first Sunday night that you join, you're going to get this whole module. And then the next week, you'll get the next one. And then it keeps building. So everything is laid out like this. And so there's 149 minutes. There's 110, 14. There's conscious resources. So let's open up session 1, for example. So there's a live session that I do, and I'll do one with almost every cohort. There's a video, an introductory video of phase 1. Things are transcribed beautifully.
I love that.
Download. There's Q&As, and that's transcribed. There's a role play. There's some other teachings. So everything is just laid out like this. And people then can leave comments here. So you can see Adriana writes, I'm astonished by all this material. So much clarity. Wow, I got jitters, the role play video. Let's go through session 4, for example. Now, session 4 is a long session. Look, it's 406 minutes.
Wow.
Some weeks are intense. It's 3 to 5 hours of work, sometimes more. So look, I have a 60-minute talk. I have a 50-minute talk. Then I break it down. So in this session, I talk about patterns and dynamics, why the past is so important to the present moment. The distinction between the past and the present is the key. I teach coaches to help parents understand their past and how it is that they've landed in the present. Q&A, what is conditioned reality? This is heavy-duty Eastern philosophy and Western psychology. This is all mixed into one. What is the purpose of cultural institutions? And I answered here. How do we motivate and push our children to do their best? Are labels and expectations ever okay to have, right? So I answer questions that you commonly will get from your people. So there's a role play here. There's a section on the healing the inner child, reclaiming the lost self, the inner child, another inner child, an inner child, a lot of inner child work, right? Incredible session, love the inner child session, amazing. So those are the video tutorial parts. Then in the next section, I have audios and transcripts. So I have stuff from my book club where I break down everything and I give you the transcript. This is for you to listen on the treadmill, in the car, culture's influence on us. So everything is beautifully laid out. Then you have conscious resources, which you can physically download and take with you. And people are making big binders. And this gives
Oh,
you the
wow.
language, it gives you the transparency to appear before your clients and just show up with wisdom. So I have all these PDFs, releasing one's own parents, ask questions, I give them exact questions to ask. I give them exercises to do. So that's just one PDF. This one is called The Dreams of the Forgotten Child, Recognizing the Call of the Lost Self. Everything is beautifully typed up. How hungry are you for change? The inner child. I explain what the inner child is. So that's that. Then I have daily practices and journal prompts that you can do with your clients on experiencing emotional release, for example. And this week we're doing that. Then I have videos and literature. I pick out YouTube videos that work for you. And then I have bonus material, integrating the masculine and feminine. Where is the love? The choice is here. So again, a lot of information, a lot of integration. I cover also ADHD, anxiety, anger, trauma, sibling rivalry, a lot of stuff that will help give you all the pieces that you feel you want to expand into. And after the coaching program, people have the option to buy the business program. So I have a business section to it. You participated in that. I have a licensing option. So there's lots of options people will have for ongoing support once they complete this program. So it's weeks 1 through 15 and is intense. Then weeks 16 to 20, you get buddied up and you practice it with the buddy. And then you come to New York for a graduation day, a ceremony day. And people come from all over the world. So it's really fascinating to see how people are feeling empowered to go help people, to embrace a mission, a purpose. And as you know, when we help people, there's nothing more gratifying. There's nothing more fulfilling. There is no depression when you
No.
help people. Through service to others, we loosen our egoic obsession with ourselves. And there is no room or time to be depressed. We have to help people. So I inspire and ignite people to come on, use this life for a good cause. Don't just think about yourself this entire life. We're here to enjoy, to be loving and have a fine life, but also to serve. And when you serve, you realize that the most ultimate gratification is knowing that you help someone suffer less. And that's what I'm committed to. That's what you're committed to. And that's what the coaches will leave with, that commitment.
That's fabulous. That's so exciting to see the way you've built it. I love that you do role plays, because I think that I remember being in grad school for psychology, and I remember how important the role plays were to really understand the concepts I was being taught, because just reading about it is just like a flat piece of it, but seeing it play out before your eyes is so powerful.
Yes. And every cohort will be allowed to see that and get palpable, real-time feel and touch of how it looks in the real world.
That's really exciting. And then I also love that you offer the coaches questions that they can ask their clients, as well as activities and things like that, because I remember just starting out after grad school and feeling, with my first clients, feeling nervous and feeling like, oh, how am I gonna, do I know enough to help them get through this hurdle they're having or this pain they're having? And having some frame of reference of like how you can actually conduct those early sessions until you get a handle on it and it gets easier, I think is so valuable for the coach and for the client, so that they can move forward in an effective way. I think it's a great idea to add that.
Yeah. No, people will leave armed with concrete strategies, with real-time sheets that they can hand over and help ignite the client's process.
Well, I knew you would do it.
Thank
And
you for
it's,
your support, and I hope your people join. Applications are open till June 5th. It'll transform your life, it'll give you purpose, and the world needs us to go out there. So know that if you do, you will become a lighthouse of inspiration and transformation.
and no offense to any other programs out there, mine included, but I come across a lot of people who either are coaches or who would who have pondered the idea of maybe becoming a coach because they feel a little calling to do that. And I have for years, probably 3 or 4 years, I've said to people, if you can hold on, if you can be patient and you don't have to do something right now, wait till Dr. Shefali is done, because there will be no better school on this planet that you could go to learn this stuff. So I'm really happy that it exists now.
Thank you. Thank you all for listening, and I hope to see some of you there.
Yes. That wraps up today's episode. Wherever you are in this world, I hope that you make it a fabulous day for yourself.